Oh, it's cold. Hi, and welcome to another video. This week is a little different. I'm going on a trip down memory lane as I have been away for the past month and a half now, traveling to various places. Lots of videos coming on those soon. But it means that I have no new art to share with you yet. So as I've been away, I have been thinking about all the trips I've had as an artist and where my art has taken me. And one such trip was an art retreat back in 2019. So this art retreat was one that was actually planned by myself and my mum. And it was a 5-day retreat, I want to say. I mean, this was 6 years ago now, so could be wrong in that. But we organised it up in the English Lake District, a place that we both love, know really well. And we had a nice little group book on, mostly women and one guy who was very brave to come along with all these female artists, I have to say, but he did amazing. Now, this is the first retreat, workshop, anything that I had ever done. And it was quite daunting. Now, fortunately, we knew most of the people coming on the retreat who were basically just happy to go for a 5-day sketching, painting, little holiday with other artists, and basically pay myself and my mum to organise the whole thing. But running an art retreat isn't simple, obviously. Otherwise, I think a lot of people would do it. So figuring out what everyone's going to do is kind of a challenge, but also one of the easiest things. The hardest parts are food because of dietary requirements, and location, like where to stay, because everybody wants their own room, everyone wants an ensuite. So finding that location in a good area of the Lake District where there was plenty around to inspire everybody, but also give us this nice accommodation with a kitchen, a dining room, space for everyone. Plus, it had to be affordable. It was quite difficult. Now, fortunately, this was the year before COVID, before the price of accommodation and self-catering places absolutely skyrocketed. So we were able to keep the costs fairly low and surprisingly low for the location we actually ended up getting. So after scouting a few places, we ended up booking this giant manor house all to ourselves. So the day of the retreat arrives, it's a lovely sunny day. Me and my mum drive up to the lakes to go to this accommodation. It's the first time we'd ever actually been there. We'd only seen photos online. And we told everybody to arrive probably about 3 hours after check-in time so we could get there, unload our stuff and all the materials we needed to give to people. So we were feeling fairly chilled out. We went to the village, grabbed an ice cream, and then the rest of our guests arrived. And then that evening we popped open a bottle of bubbly to celebrate a good few days of painting, art and creativity ahead. So this retreat wasn't meant to be one where we ran workshops. This was specifically for people who were already a bit arty and creative, and they could come along with their own equipment as well as a few bits that we gave them, and we would sort the locations out. We'd go out and they could just do their own thing, basically giving space and time to people who wanted to create, who just don't have the time at home because they're working, looking after grandkids, looking after their own kids. Because it's amazing how many people come up to me and say, I want to do art, but I just don't have time. So this was what that was all about. So most of these artists brought paints with them. Of course, I am primarily a pencil artist, so I was thinking, right, we've got to get people doing some pencil work here. So I brought along a load of Derwent pencils for people to use, which went down really, really well, because who doesn't love free art materials? And we went out to all these different locations that we had planned. Now, the Lake District is obviously very countryside-y, there's lakes, there's hills, but we wanted to have a bit of variety in the week. So of course we went out into the countryside, by the lakes, let people sketch and do just what they wanted to do. But then to throw in that bit of variety, we went into towns, and then we went to this really old manor house and gardens, which was super pretty, had a meadow of flowers, you had the house itself so people could do a little bit of urban sketching, and it was amazing to see what everybody was creating from the same locations. Now, this place is called the English Lake District for a reason. It is green for a reason, there are lakes for a reason, and as most of the activities we had planned were outside, this was a bit of an issue midweek when it absolutely poured it with rain. And in our infinite wisdom, we hadn't really figured out what to do if it rained. We had planned everything to a T, an absolute T, but the Lake District is a very outdoorsy place and there aren't many things to do indoors there. So we had a bit of an impromptu life drawing session. Now, we didn't have a model, and as everybody was a guest, we weren't exactly going to ask them to model. My mum didn't want to do it, so it fell to me to sit there and be the life model for everybody, drawing and painting. Now, I'm quite a fidgety person. Despite sitting and drawing all day long, which I can do, I like to move around a lot. So sitting there for 20 minutes with a break of 5 minutes and then sitting back down for another 20 minutes, having to stay absolutely still is so difficult. Like, I didn't expect to have to do that, and I didn't think I'd ever have to do that. So that was interesting. But it was pretty cool to see all the drawings and paintings of me afterwards and how people had kind of interpreted my face and body posture. But it's not something I think I'll ever take up again in a hurry. I love doing life drawing. I don't exactly enjoy being the model. I have a totally new respect for life drawing models now because it is so difficult to do. But later in the week, the sun started to shine, which we took advantage of, and even went out into the gardens around the manor house to do some more painting there, because we were literally surrounded by hills and fields and sheep, and it was so beautiful. Now, one thing that I love is food. And as everybody was staying on location, we had to organise breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day, which is quite a lot, especially with the dietary requirements. So the breakfast and lunches were like, your standard continental breakfast with pastries and fruit and toast and cereals. And lunches with your sandwiches, your wraps, etc. But dinner times, we wanted to mix it up a little bit, have some really nice fun bits to do, because people remember the food just as much as the experience of making friends and creating the art. It's amazing how much of a connection people have with food and how much it actually connects people as well. It's a very social thing, but when you give someone food that they really like, they will remember it. I guarantee if you had a nice meal out somewhere, like an exceptionally good one, you'll always remember that, and you'll tell people about it and you'll say, oh, I had this really nice steak in Portugal once and I will never forget it. So we had homemade curries, we went out for dinner on the last night to celebrate, but the most fun night of food was pizza making. We bought a load of pizza bases and a load of toppings and then got everybody to make their own pizzas, which I love doing. And it's amazing how long it had been since anybody there had made their own pizza.
We also went for lunch to a steam train, which had been converted into a cafe. We were allowed to explore the entire train, and this was the very train used to film Murder on the Orient Express with Judi Dench, Johnny Depp and Kenneth Branagh.
So that was the food, and at the end of the week we had a little display of everybody's art up against the wall, just to kind of see what everyone had made throughout the week, all the different materials they'd used, if they hadn't used materials before, and how they'd progressed through the week with those new materials, looking in their sketchbooks. And it was so fascinating to see, because it was a visual diary of the week and all that we'd done, and it was just so nice to have this group of artists there and bring them all together, because being an artist can be quite a lonely thing. So going away together like that is so uplifting and really lifts you creatively as well, and you go home and you feel invigorated to do more art and do different things, and it's so nice, and everyone stays in contact afterwards as well, which is just lovely. So myself and my mum have been talking a little bit recently, because we loved being able to bring artists together. We loved how happy everyone felt during the week and at the end of the week, and we want to do that again. So you may have noticed that I'm at a little bit of a different location to normal, and that is because I am in the Worcestershire countryside at a different studio, and that is because we'll be running an art retreat right here from the 1st to the 5th of June 2026, which I'm so excited about. We've been planning this for a few months now, and we cannot wait for it to come round. So this retreat will be a little bit different to our Lake District one, as we will be based here but not in a big accommodation together. Now, we know things are so expensive these days, so to keep costs down of this retreat, we actually have made it slightly different. And we won't be hiring a big place for everybody to stay. We're going to allow everyone to find their own accommodation, because that is what really boosts the price of these retreats and holidays and experiences that everybody has. And of course, we just want it to be available to anybody that wants to come. So the retreat will primarily be based here in this studio, and rather than have artists come along with their own materials, we're actually going to be running workshops every single day, but not necessarily just from this studio. No, we'll be here. We'll also be going out on the steam train, just a 2-minute walk that way. We'll be going to the local safari park to sketch the animals there. We'll be going to local towns to do a bit of urban sketching and painting, and we'll have great food. We're going to be teaching drawing, painting, printmaking, jelly plate printing, and sketchbook making. But everyone will also have time to go out and do their own thing on these little trips out that we do as well. So if we're in a group and you want to go off and do your own little bit of art, you can do. So if you're interested in hanging out with me and my mother dearest here and in this countryside around us, I'll leave the link in the description below for you to check out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which is going to be based in London. Can't wait to see you there. Bye for now. And I'm totally covered in dog hair, even though I have no dogs around me right now. This plant is attacking me. Okay. I'm properly jet lagged. Ooh, awake. Me. And paint and do what everybody. So, what else are we doing? We're going to be teaching painting, printmaking, jelly plate, drawing, painting, printing, drawing, printing. No, we're going to be drawing, painting, printmaking, jelly plate printing. Oh, so close. I don't even have any drink in this mug.